Alrighty guys, what's up? It's another episode of Hackery Garage, where today we're throwing it back to an old school one. One of the first projects I think I performed on this page before I started the YouTube, before I started any of this shit. I started building a trailer. I took an old boat trailer that I got for free, converted it to a flatbed, and designed to use it for like a junk hauling thing. And started doing some stuff with it, got it ready to go, got the rims and tires for it off a pick and pull. Like I have maybe $100 at the end of this trailer altogether, and it's not bad. It's a decent little trailer. It just needs some work left. I've got to do some things to it. So today I'm gonna do a walk around video of it, and from there we'll see what we got. See what kind of activities and trouble we can get into. So without ado, let's go. Alrighty, there it is. This is the Hackery Garage Project Hopes and Dreams trailer. This started out as a little boat trailer I got for free from my grandfather, and this is what it looks like currently. It's got some stuff done to it, got some other stuff not done to it yet. You'll notice it's missing a fender. I have it. It looks blue just like the other one. It's nice and pretty. But if you look real close, you'll see there's not much room for air there. So I'd like to be able to keep this bed side or the stake side here, and knowing that it's gonna wobble around and the tire's gonna flex, knowing that I'm gonna have that issue, I'm gonna need to space that out. There's already a small wheel spacer in there, but you can see those lug nuts are not on there very well. Fuck, I'm missing one. That's some hackery. It's alright, this thing's only been moved down the street a couple times. Nothing crazy. But I need to put another wheel spacer on there, which means I need longer wheel studs. So I'm going to have to knock those out. I do have a piece of steel to go across the front. Same thing as this here. It's some old wrought iron a friend of mine gave me from her old house. I have another piece like this, already cut and welded, ready to go. I just need to weld the tabs on the other side, and then I have one for the back as well. Haven't got to that quite yet. The front and the back still need to be cut and spliced and welded and ready and whatnot, but the sides are done. So when I got this trailer, it did not have this. I cut this one off, I cut the other one off, I put this on. That's a Harbor Freight guy. Takes a 2-inch ball, rated for 3,500, 3,600 pounds, nothing crazy. I mean, it's shit, you can see. It's an old boat trailer. I didn't do anything to it. Took some old bed frame material that I had, cut it, welded it. As you can see, the real hackery is right above that light. It's straight-ish. Gets the job done. It works. But the deck is held up. There's some railing that goes across the sides from side to side. And it's held up by some grade 8 bolts that I just welded through some holes. And that's what supports it. This thing is not built for weight of any capacity. My idea was to do some appliance hauling with it, and that was really about it. But there's really only 2 bolts to go hold it up down the whole middle. There's a few of those little rafters in the middle, and that's about it. The trailer axle's kind of weak. It's not designed for anything. Right here it had a winch on it or something like that, and I just cut that shit off. Didn't need it. Left this here for some strength, but that there, I don't like the way that's done. I did not do that. I just painted over it because I was like, it's good enough for who it's for. But I think I might put some steel tube in there or something like that, pipe or something like that, and do that proper. I did put the safety chains on. Those are Harbor Freight specials with some parts from Ace Hardware. But yeah, that's about it. Welding was done with my Harbor Freight 110 welder with the Omni Pro 220. The wiring is Harbor Freight special. The marker lights, the tail lights, all that is from Harbor Freight. The jack needs some work, nothing crazy, but it does get the job done. but it's an absolute piece of shit. So the boards are attached from the bottom. They came out really looking nice. All free wood. I didn't pay for any of the lumber on this. It's gotten beat up and dinged up, so I do need to fix that up. But otherwise, trailer's coming along. Going to start on making the side of the other side of the trailer. Had a buddy come over and I started dicking around with him and fucking around and forgot to film some shit. So trailer looks a little different than when I last showed it to you. I pulled the side off and I got the other side pulled out, and it's, as you can probably hear the welders in the background, I did some welding to it. I had to do some hackery to it. Oh yeah, I'll show you what we got going on. That's what we're fucking with. So as you can see, the other side is actually pulled off. I'll show you the hackery we did with this bad boy. We'll start on the front, because the front's the nicer part, and we'll get just shittier as we go. So that tab is just a piece of 3/4 inch stock, which is just that stuff that I cut out of some door, welded it onto the side. It sleeves into the bigger piece here, the fat one, and just goes in. About 8 inches long. Nice straight cut. Didn't give a fuck about it. Didn't even paint it. Who cares? The next one, I welded a piece of flat stock to it to try and get it to push away from the tire as much as I could. Didn't help much. Same thing. This one's about 6.5 inches, if I remember correctly, because can't be consistent. And this one, because we mounted the front flush, actually sits behind the end of the trailer. So I had to weld some flat stock or some angle iron to it, make it work. Same thing, it's about 8 inches long or so. Nice straight flush cut. Nice sharp edges to slice the shit out of yourself with. The huge. But it sits on here nice and flush. Comes down and sits, and it sits pretty well. Gives enough room to be able to actually wrap some rope around the bottom here. Use this as a tie down if I need to. Or I left these tabs up here, which were actually mounted, or using it to mount this to someone's house. And yeah, that's the way that works. So, come over here. That's the new panel. And you might be going, hey, fuck is that? That's hackery. That one right there, it was a little short. When we started cutting it, we thought we were going to cut it there and use this for something else. We decided not to. And so there, you can see, hey, it got cut. I welded a little piece on, and then welded it on. Real precise around here with our cuts. We just kind of cut it and go, oh, that's not long enough, or too short. We'll cut it there. All of these are nice, consistent, straight. And you could put a fucking ruler on that and it would just not touch a single surface. But, come down here. I got the paint cleaned off, the primer cleaned off. We're gonna weld one of these pieces up, one of these guys right here, and then weld it in place there. But a good little hackery tip I was thinking about, I took these two and I actually measured them. They're fairly precise, but I'm gonna show you a little hackery tip here. I've got these two pieces, they're gonna work. They're flush on the bottom, not so much on the top. It's okay. They're going to be hidden by the sidewall. They're just going to flush into the air, and you'll never see it. But I have this piece here. I need to figure out where to cut it. So, which end do we like better? How much better? Go right there. And then, when I need to mark it, because I just cut that piece and it's real sharp, put it up at an angle, and now you have a nice little line to cut off of. Real fucking precise around these parts. Now, sparky sparky. Perfect. Nice, perfectly straight, symmetrical cut. It's perfect. Just that easy. So now that I have that cut, I can then take this and I'll actually grind the powder coat off of there, make it look pretty so that it'll get a good weld, because that's actually gonna be what's gonna hold the whole thing side on. And then, because that one is, fuck, that's not on the side. Ruh-roh. To be continued. Alright, well, it's time to go digging through the garage, see what kind of flat stock we have that we can use. That's not going to be too thick, not going to be too thin, something that'll actually work. Preferably that'll look decent, because I'm actually trying to make this trailer look nice, because I actually don't plan on keeping it that long. I'm kind of thinking about selling it once I get it done. That might work, but it's too tall. I don't want to cut a bunch of times. What else do we have? Same thing. That's actually too thick. Move my free tarp that I got because I just felt like I needed it. That's aluminum, can't use that. That's also aluminum, can't use that. What the fuck is that? Jesus. I don't even know what the fuck that's from, but it's too thick and not what I'm looking for. I see nothing. Let's come down here and see what we got. This is where the scrap parts fall. I just left them right here because you never know what you're gonna find. I don't think that's gonna work. Ooh. I've been looking for that. We'll put that there. Hey, look, a gasket for it. I'll put that with that as well. That's way too thick and oily and greasy. Take too much time. That's a piece of cast something. Piston, maybe? I don't fucking know. Well, shit. Striking out, boys. I don't think that'll work. It's way too big. More 1-inch square. Alright. Come out here to the side yard. The yard of doom. See what we got out here. It's all exhaust tubing. There's some big, thick, flat stuff. Muffler. Big, thick, heavy cart thing I plan to have build for. Exhaust flanges I cut off. Bed frame, which is a bitch to use. This is all full of stuff that I wanted to keep for some reason. I don't see anything worthy in there. Maybe. Hold, please. Well, looky what we got here. Nice big thick piece of steel. It's chrome. That's off of a bumper from a 2004 Suburban that my wife wrecked. Cut it off because it's a good piece of steel I could use for something. I don't know what that something is, but I bet you if I cut that out, or even just that out, that would be right what I need. I think I'll do that. I've got the grinder and the whole situation moved over to the yard, the garage. I'd like to use the vise for this, but there's really no good way to mount this to the vise. So we're just gonna cut this fucker. How big? My heart will tell me. Then I'll know what size it needs to be. Take the third. Get the proper tool. If I can find it.
Why are you making all that goddamn racket?
I'm filming a goddamn video, you cocksucker.
Nice. What are you doing?
Making shit, welding, hackery.
Nice.
Will that work? Well, let's go find out. It's a little big, a little tall, a little wide. I think it's perfect. So this is one of my favorite hacks. You can see I tried cutting this here. Fucking zoom. You can see I tried cutting it here, and it just kept spinning because it didn't have enough bite down here to grab it in the vise. But I can use the vise grips to clamp on and have all the grip in the world, and then use the vise to hold the vice grips. Kind of a back-assward way of doing it, but it enables me to hold the piece where I need it to be, and I can make that cut. So I need to cut this all the way across. Then when I'm done, I'll take this piece right here, and then I'll cut it along that black line. All right, so now that I got it all clamped up and rigged, grab the Sawzall. Or should I say hacksaw, because it's, Milwaukee's hacksaw. And then, go to town. Motherfucker. Stay tuned. Part 2. Let's try this again. Cordless tools are great until they're not. And it never fails. Your battery always dies when you fucking need it. 2.0 battery with 4 bars. See how long this will last. Ding, fries are done. Unclamp that. Unclamp that. Now to put the force of Jesus on it. My son's friend Jack is over. He was trying to DoorDash, and the car overheated. So we showed up to see what was wrong, see if we could help him with it. I pulled the radiator cap. Once you get the cap off, realize it's low on coolant. Geo things, squealing belt, mint. So we pull the cap. Not a whole lot of fluid came out. I was like, well, that's part of the problem. And then we were looking, and I pulled the dipstick on the oil dipstick, and it's dry. He drove it here. It's dry. There's no residual on the stick. So he just put, I think, 2 or 3 quarts of oil in it, in a 4-quart system. And now it's struggling to start and run. We may be witnessing the death of the Geo Metro. Next, let's cut this part off. Daylight's burning and I got shit to do. And there you have it. That is how to use a vice grip to hold your part while you put it in the vise. Alright, so back out in the field. I got my piece cut. It's nice and fucky. Matches the rest of this operation. How the fuck did it fit in there last time? It looked really good last time. Call that good enough for who it's for. Safety squints engaged.
Oh! I stared right at the fucking brain hole. That thing. Hello, baby. Yeah, I stepped out here. I was like, "Whoa, is your dad welding?" Fuck, stared right in. Fuck, right light.
Huh.
Did they say if you stare at that motherfucker, it'll burn you right in?
Yeah, you look up blind. Yeah. We was there for a day drawing, and then just for like, stop staring at it, you go get like. But to be fair, who the fuck's gonna do this non-stop staring?
That's just really close to that point. Take away somebody's sight in 48 hours. Someone can really that fucking life. He's like, I'm not taking it.
You won't be able to see after 6.
That's good. But so just get out of here. Blue. Like the village.
Hold it. No, you go first. You got this.
That's fuck.
Good enough for who it's for. Go grab a grinder. Clean that up this flush.
Asshole. Yeah, it's comfortable for me.
Alright.
Fuck my grinder.
Grab that gold.
I know I'm nice. Nice to get
That's a manga. Good job.
I have $1,000 grab Like my ball, I have everything.
You have this?
Yeah, I got progressives.
No. Yeah.
Flap disc.
Hey! Go move those toes!
One more little spot I don't like.
You can adjust it.
I ain't got it. Fuck you.
Now it's good enough for who it's for. All right, so I got it cleaned up the best I can with a flap disc. Got the piece, cut the powder coat off with the flap disc as well. Going to slap it up to the fucking trailer and see what we can do. So that's what it's gonna look like. Just gonna make it flush-ish, straightish as possible. I'm just gonna tack weld it in. I'm gonna do here and the very end, as well as in the middle. Hopefully I don't have to pull the fucking fender off first. Probably will, which means I have to pull it up, put it on jack stands, take the fender off, which is welded, so you know, lots of fucking bullshittery. But I'm gonna tack this. I'm gonna tack the other end, and then hopefully I'll be able to figure out where the metal goes. Once I know where the metal goes, I'll figure out if I need to cut the fender off. Alrighty, it's good enough for who it's for. It's not too hot to touch. Neither is the part. Nice cool day out, so that helps. It's still a little warm though. I don't want to hold it too long. Especially when you fucking weld your finger. Rightio, looks good to me. Got it tacked in 4 spots. It's good there. Got the other piece rested in. We'll see what kind of fuckery we're up against on the backs. On this side, I had to use a piece of angle to get it to fit. And it's looking like I'm gonna have to do the same. Got a piece of angle iron cut. It's a nice straight fucking perfect cut. So we'll take that, we'll put it on the bottom, make this flat spot pretty. We'll take it, we'll come over to the edge. Once I find the edge here, on this side, and the edge up there, I'll burn this fucker in. Maybe. So weird, when you weld shit, it'll actually move. The power of the heat and everything will actually move the part. So I have it in my finger here. That's mostly straight. I mean, for what it's for, it's fucking good enough. But as I'm welding on the bottom, I can feel the whole fucking thing shifting. Weird. Super cool though. Since this isn't a real critical part, I'm only going to kind of sniff weld it with the tack weld. It's really not bone bearing at all, so I'm not too concerned about it. If I was really concerned about it, the thing holding up any sort of like real weight to it, then I go get my hood and my glove and I'd actually fucking burn this in proper. But I'm just going to stitch weld because I'm too lazy to get up and get my hood. Good. Now I'm not going to do a weld across the top because if I need to pull something over, I don't want to have to catch that lip every time. Even though it's on the very edge and I like the won't. It's just function over form. That's fucking good enough for what it's doing. So I'm not too concerned about it. Oh boy. I got a big gap. I'm gonna go get my hood and my helmet and my glove for this one.
Let's go out for a fight. Monkey brother, I'll be on my back. Stand back.
Oh. God damn, that's a big fucking gap. God bless MIG welding. I can always fill a hole with MIG welder. Because I want a little more wire to fill that hole, we're going to crank the fucking wire speed up. Keep the bolts down. I don't want to burn holes, but I need more wire. God damn. Of course the wire feed welder fucking jams. At least the tool was real close. Now I have less of a gap, so I'm going to drop that wire speed back down to where it was. It's got to be the sip. It's a test. It's good enough for who it's for. I am going to do one weld on the inside here to hold it on the top. I think we'll call that good. All right, so we got a little hackery. Had to go up to the store. Go next step after what I showed you with the welding. I got that plate all welded on. Got the little stub axle, the little stubby on. But when I did, I realized that I was going to need to space the wheels out, and I had wheel spacers already from doing this project earlier. And in order to fix it, I needed to pull the wheels off. In order to put the wheels on where they needed to be, I needed to go buy wheel studs. These wheel studs are really funny looking. They're flat. They're not knurled. They're like a machine press fit. And half of them are left-hand thread, half are right-hand thread. I don't want to fuck with that, so I said to hell with it, and went and bought some bolts. Bought some fine thread bolts, 2.5 inches long. Those are like 1.5 inches. I figured an extra inch will be fine. So going to put the bolts in, tighten them up with my Milwaukee impact wrench, because I love Harbor Freight, but Milwaukee's got them beat, at least as far as Bauer is concerned. Earthquake isn't bad. I have not fucked with Hercules at all. So putting them in, setting them in, and I'm using my Pittsburgh crescent, or not crescent, ratchet with extension, socket, no big deal, because I can't use a wrench in there. It keeps getting stuck on the wheel. So I go and put the impact. It's a variable degree setting, so I put it at 2 as opposed to 3. 3 is kill. I put it on 2. I want to make sure they're tight. Get them on 2, and I get a couple of them in, and I go to do the third one, and then the ratchet starts spinning. I'm like, oh, I just bumped it. No. So that position is loosened. It loosens. Will not go the other way. Loosens. That's tighten. Tighten. Not a problem. Will not loosen. Only tightens. That is maybe tighten, maybe loosen. We do what the fuck we want. Thankfully, it's Pittsburgh. I'm good friends with the people who worked at the my local Harbor Freight. It'll get replaced. I'll get a new one. No big deal. But it does slow me down. I do have another one of these. I'll probably ignore this one, and I'll probably go up to a 1/2 inch down to a 3/8 adapter and use a 3/8 socket, because I'm using the 1/2 inch drive socket on the impact. So shit happens. It is what it is. But it's definitely some hackery. Pittsburgh versus Milwaukee. Milwaukee wins. All right, so status update. We have this guy tack welded in, and if you look down the side, it wobbles. You come to this side, it doesn't wobble so much. And I came to remember the reason it's like that is because the middle one, the middle stud, sleeve, whatever the fuck you want to call it, has a piece welded to it. So I welded one. I don't know what the fuck. Oh, I see it. There it is. It's this guy right here. That is going to take up the extra slack inside of there to keep it from bouncing around. Really hoping to avoid cutting the fender off, because I really don't want to, but I need to in order to make this not floppy doppy. So I'll show you what I got else going on. We've got the wheels are on. This one has the wheel spacers on, and you can see the gap. It's fucking titties. Nice set of Perky D's. I went and bought some really, really long wheel studs. They're actually bolts. They look like grade 8 bolts because they are grade 8 bolts. But they don't fit in the hole, so I have to lift the wheel while holding the wheel and holding the stud or the bolt in place, and using my Milwaukee impact to tighten that up. That's what it's taking to get these to go in. So in order to hold it, I'm putting the floor jack under the tire until the gap looks even all the way around. So when I spin it, the gap does not change between the bearing and the wheel, so that the cone of the lug nut is properly seated in there. Once it's properly seated, then I know it's the right spot, and I'll be able to weld those fuckers in place. So that's this side. I realized that that's what I needed to do because I got this side where I didn't use the floor jack method, and you can see that we have some issues. Thankfully, I caught that before I welded these in. These are just held on by the wheel studs and the bolts, or the bolts and the nuts. So I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna bring the floor jack over here, get this side done, but start one side at a time. I'm working on the other side first. I'll knock that out. Once that's done, I'll come over here and jack this one up, and we'll do it all over again. That right there is the stud that we drove out. They are not splined. You can see there's no splines on that. It is literally a press fit. So in order to, I had to swap these out as well because you can kind of see it. It got pounded the fuck out, but that is an L on there, which means it is left-hand thread. I don't fuck with that shit, guys. That's fucking trash. I don't want to have to worry about being able to. It's a single axle trailer. I mean, I don't want to have to worry about if I lose a lug nut, I can't pull one from the other side, or if I lose two, it's a 5-lug axle. I can swap one from the other side and it's done. Now I can't do that. Now if I lose two or a two studs break, I'm fucked. So I'll show you what I did here in a second. But yeah, these left-hand thread wheel studs from 1903 or whenever this fucking trailer was made, just plain trash. So we are in order to get this clearance I needed. Remember before I didn't have a whole lot of room there. Now I can almost put a finger in there, which honestly I'm probably gonna end up tying things to this. It's gonna pull it that way. If I pull it that way, that gives me a finger. So but it does wiggle. The tire is gonna wiggle. It's gonna do what it's gonna do. But right now it's still up in the jack stand from when I was working on it. So I took those little shorty wheel studs, drove them the fuck out, and I used grade 8 bolts. Those are 1/2-inch 20s. They're 2.5 inches long. I get plenty of fucking thread engagement, which is before I didn't have shit. I got that gap in there looking pretty fucking good. Give you some light. Gap all the way around looks pretty fucking decent. So we will rock that. I think it looks all right. So what I did was I rammed those in. I put a ratchet on the backside. Let's see if you can see it. Through that hole, you can kind of see one of the bolts. I just put a ratchet on there, and then my brother actually came out and we used the impact and we ran those fuckers down until it stopped. Once it stopped, I knew the bolt was seated up against the back of the plate back there. And then from there, once they were tight, I knew the gap was good. I used a floor jack underneath the tire, jacked the whole tire up until it was centered forward and back, side to side and all that, until the gap around here was good enough for who it's for. And then I came up and under. Shitty video, hold on. Shine some light, and I just welded those fuckers on. And once again, not pretty welds at all. Super uncomfortable position. I didn't clean anything. There's no surface prep. The bolts were clean, but they still had that coating on them. So shit welds, but I turned my Milwaukee up to 3, and I ramrodded those fuckers on all the way as far as tight as I could. Ramrodded them off with a fucking Milwaukee on 3 again. I welded it, held it. It's good enough for who it's for. But same thing on the other side. They're just grade 8 hex bolts that I fucking welded the heads onto. I know that works from past experiences. That's how the 9-inch in the El Camino's held in. But that's it. So I'm gonna crawl back up underneath this, or out from underneath this thing. Give you a little rundown of what else we did. So, as you can see, this one doesn't wobble so much. This one still flops like a fish. I'm gonna have to put that other spacer in the middle. I haven't got to that yet. I probably should have done that when the wheel was off, but now that I got the new wheel spacers on, I've got two half-inch wheel spacers in there, or 3/4-inch wheel spacers in there, and it actually fills the fender well, pretty well. I'm honestly thinking about just taking the fender on the driver's side that I cut off and just welding it back on. I thought I was gonna have to space it out, but truthfully, I got tons of fucking room, man. So I think I'm just gonna weld them back on. Fuck it, send it. But I've got, is it this one? Yes. This guy here that needs to get welded onto this part of the frame. Right down. Yeah. Once it gets welded in, then this will be set. It'll be solidified. And the sides will be done. And then I can focus on the front and the rear. And we'll be good to go. Alright, so I fucking suck at filming shit. Part of the reason I suck at filming shit is it's just me out here doing this shit. My brother was out here. He's out of town. He's in from out of town for a few more days. Also, my son was out here for a little bit. He was helping. His buddy Jack came over. He was helping as well. But for most of this, it was kind of just me, and it's hard to get the camera into certain places, especially the tighter places. And it's just me with my cell phone. It sucks. So, bear with me, guys. I'm trying to make this a, professional sort of thing, but at the same time, I want to be as authentic as I can. And so part of that is telling you that, hey, it's me and a fucking Pixel 7 Pro. Not even the best phone, not even the newest phone. It's a year old, but it gets the job done. And that's, if you guys know me at all, that's my fucking MO. That's what I do. I get by with what I got. I make shit happen any way I fucking know how. So it's fucking dark out. I've been at this all day. I only planned on working on this thing for maybe half hour. I wanted to clean it off, kind of get a feel for it, and then I just started working on it, and poof, wheel studs are swapped. The passenger side is on. It's not fully on, but it's good enough for who it's for right now. So yeah, it's gonna get better, guys. Trust me, I'm working on that. I know my fucking videos suck. I know. I watch them. It's painful to watch. But it's who I am right now. It's what I'm doing. So today is New Year's Eve, and I plan on making this better next year. I plan on doing some new things. I have some ideas in the works. I've got a possible collaboration still coming up. I've got a new job starting soon. And I'm going to try and incorporate that into my videos as well if I can. I think that's going to do it for this episode, guys. It's been a long day. I still have a lot of shit to do for 75 Hard. I've got 2 days left. I got today and tomorrow. Like I said earlier, today's New Year's Eve. It's 5 o'clock, 5:30, something like that. I got to pack up all my tools because I've been working in the driveway. I don't trust to leave my tools out. Pack all my tools up, and then I'm gonna go for a walk, get my outdoor, my 75 Hard stuff done. So that said, say it every time, function over form. Those welds on those fucking bolts, they're not pretty. They're bolts, they're not even fucking wheel studs. What more is a wheel stud than other than just a spline fucking bolt? Mine, those weren't even spline, they were pushed in. This trailer was manufactured in probably the 70s, maybe the 80s, 60s, 50s, 40s. Who fucking knows? That thing was old. Trying to find parts for it, who knows? The bearings still need repacked, especially since I just welded everything. The bearings are probably smoked. I'm going to redo them anyways. So I'm going to redo the bearings on this thing eventually, and we'll do that a video on that as well. But next step I think is going to be I'm going to do the front and rear of the side of the panels. That way I can have I can put stuff in here and not have to worry about it floating around or whatnot, flying off. But yeah, I'm stoked that the trailer's coming along. I can tow with it safely once I get the taillights mounted back on it, which involves putting the fender back on. But fuck, it's easy shit now. Those wheel studs were kind of holding me up. I knew it needed to be done. Didn't quite know how the studs came out. I've done studs before, and they're always usually pretty easy. These ones were a bitch. They came out in pieces. One of them got stuck. I had to cut it. Fucking disastrous. This one fought me. That's why I started this project about 10 a.m. and I started about 11. And it's now 5, 6 o'clock at night. So yeah, go out and do something, guys. I've been doing this for a couple weeks now, and I'm fucking having a ball with this, dude. It's just so much fun. I got to go out. I got to do things I've wanted to do, things I need to get done. This was actually a task for 75 Hard. One of my critical power list tasks was to go out and work on the trailer. Wasn't to work on it all fucking day, but here we fucking are. So yeah, go out and do something. Try new things. You'll never know what you like until you fucking do it. That said, just go do something, guys. Just go out, do something. I don't care what it is. If you've always had an interest in it, do it. There's a reason you're interested in it. You obviously like it. And if you don't like it and you do it and you go, why does it interest me? No harm, no foul. It's not the end of the world. So go out, do something. I don't care what it is. If you've always wanted to learn how to weld, learn how to weld. If you've always wanted to learn how to work on a car, go for it. It's 1,000,000 fucking YouTube videos. I'm about to add one more. It'll be 1,000,001. So just do something, guys. Go out. Have fun. Borrow a welder. Go to a buddy's house who has a welder. If you're in Sacramento and you want to learn how to weld, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, but I'll show you what I know. I welded at Helded. Grinder and paint makes me the welder I ain't. So just go do shit. This hobby of automotive stuff and of hot rods and fabricating, it's not a dying thing, but it's decaying, and there's not enough people getting into it with this new generation. I think there's a lot of people into cars, but they're not knowing what to do. They take it to a shop. Technicians are always hiring for shops because they don't have enough people. So go out and learn how to do something. Get your hands dirty. Don't be afraid. They make soap for a fucking reason. You should see my fucking house. I got a bar of soap in the kitchen, a bar of soap in the bathroom, and the bar of soap in the shower. They're all lava bars. Pumice. That shit gets anything clean. If you're afraid of getting dirty, then figure out just what you want to do and go fucking do it. If you love to edit videos, man, hit me the fuck up. This is going to be a doozy. If you like to do fucking social media and hosting things for people, man, you can make a ton of money doing that. There's a lot of people who are not knowing what the fuck to do. I'm kind of included them. I'm good at Facebook. I'm okay at Instagram. I've posted 2 videos to YouTube in my entire fucking life before I started this channel. I have never done a TikTok. I have a Twitter. I've had a Twitter since fucking 2010, maybe. Handful of tweets on it. I never fucking use it. I created a WordPress. I've never fucking even looked at a WordPress until I started this whole ordeal. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing with this, guys, but I'm learning as I go, and it's not that big of a deal. Everybody thinks your first video is going to be just Mr. Beast or whoever the fuck the newest guy is that's fucking making 1 million views a second. Don't expect that. Expect to go in, expect to maybe have 20, 15 followers at the end of 2 months. Grind. Post that shit. Fucking tag that shit. Share it to your personal. Sell it to your friends. Make your friends fucking hate you for posting so much about your shit. Because if you're truly passionate about it, you won't fucking care. It'll be the only thing you care about. And right now, this is kind of my deal. This is what I'm doing. Yeah, I got a job starting in a couple days. I don't care as much about that as I care about this. Care about that because it's going to pay the bills. This don't pay the bills yet. So with that, function over form. Go out and do something. Get your hands dirty. Make it happen. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I've never built a trailer before. I got one. I have never not never. I've done wheel studs, and I've actually welded studs in. I welded studs in the rear end of the El Camino. But this whole project is about just doing stuff that you've never done before, not being afraid to. So go out, get your hands dirty, have some fun. With that, I'm out of here. Hackery Garage is out of here.